Welcome to Upticks. I'm Jake Falcon, the founder of Falcon Wealth Advisors and your host of Upticks. Today is episode 102, 5 Retirement Mistakes to Avoid. Okay, welcome back to the show, and I do apologize for the skip last week. We had some microphone issues, so we had to re-record episode 102. But before I dive in, I hope that all of you are staying safe and healthy, and just know that this too shall pass. Horrible pandemic is still sweeping the globe. Do I know how or when it's going to end? Absolutely not. I just know the only thing that is constant out there is change. So again, hope all of you are staying safe and healthy. And for today's show, I did want to talk about 5 very important retirement mistakes to avoid. So I'll count them down here, starting with number 5. So number 5 would be saving too late. Many young people that we meet with, and again, most of our clients are retired or approaching retirement, feel like they don't make enough money to save. Well, I would argue that you don't make enough money or you can't afford not to save. So some of our best clients, as far as setting themselves up to retire in the best way, the reason they were able to do so is because they started saving early. One of Albert Einstein's most famous sayings is that compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. Those who understand it earn it, those who don't pay it. So save early, save often. Certainly if your company has a match, you want to take advantage of that in your 401k. So if you have to put in 6%, for them to get a 3% match or whatever it is, make sure you're taking advantage of that and use time on your side. And it's never too late to start. So if you're watching this and you're 50 years old and you feel like you don't have enough saved, first off, give us a call at Falcon Wealth Advisors and we'll help crunch the numbers. And we can tell you exactly how much you should save in order for you to carry through on your retirement goals. Okay, so perfect. That's number 5. So number 4 would be investing inappropriately. A lot of the millennials out there, there's been studies conducted that they are saving at an appropriate rate, but their investment strategy is far too conservative. And the reason is 2008 is still fresh on many people's minds, and the market went down around 50% during that time frame. And that was tough on a lot of people, obviously. Now, since then, the market's up around 300%. So the point of that is you want to make sure that your investments align with your retirement goals. And you certainly can be too conservative. You also can be too aggressive. So it's important that you work with a fiduciary advisor like us at Falcon Wealth Advisors. We are certainly trained in making sure that your investments are lined up with your goals, whether that's buying a house or retiring, whatever that may be. You want to make sure that those things match up, because if you don't have things invested appropriately and you do this over a prolonged time frame, it literally can cost you thousands and thousands of dollars in missed opportunity or unnecessary risk. So it's very important to make sure that your investments are lined up. Perfect. So number 3 would be not having a plan for retirement. A lot of people out there are just winging it, right? Well, I'll retire when I'm 62 because that's when I can turn on Social Security, or I'll retire at 65 because that's when I can get Medicare. Well, all that's fine and dandy, but it's very important to us, at least at Falcon Wealth Advisors, that our clients have a retirement plan. Now, I'm not suggesting that this is something that's concrete or a roadmap. It's dynamic and it changes, and you can certainly adjust that plan. But knowing when you want to retire, how much money you want to spend, if you want to buy a second home, if you want to pay for grandchildren's education, whatever it is that you want to do, having that on paper in a written form that you can revisit and update and tweak really makes that transition into retirement that much more smooth. So good, very important to have a plan. And in my opinion, again, this is my opinion, it pays also to work with somebody who's qualified or works with retirees. You know, myself and Corey, we're both chartered retirement planning counselors. This is what we do. I'd say almost all of our clients, I'd say 90% of my clients are age 50 or older. So they're either approaching retirement or they're in retirement. And so I'm very used to looking at retirement plans. I literally look at them hundreds of times a year, and we tweak it and we fine tune them and we revisit them. So it's very important that you have a plan. Okay, good. So that's number 3. Number 2 is using your emotions to dictate your investment decisions or your retirement decisions. So don't get mad at your boss and storm out of there and quit. You might not be at a good point to retire, right? And you may end up causing yourself more grief or struggle than good, right? Same thing with your investments. Don't let the pandemic or an election or anything scare you out of investing appropriately. So don't let your emotions dictate your long-term investment or retirement decisions. It's very easy to do that. Again, that's our role at Falcon Wealth Advisors. We stay neutral. We're that unemotional third party that certainly wants to hear what's on your mind and wants to help you embrace those emotions so that you can make good, informed decisions. So it's okay to be emotional. Emotions are a good thing. What I'm suggesting, though, is it's not okay to act out on those emotions. Embrace them, let them go through you, take a deep breath, and then come talk to us. And we can help you make sure that your retirement plan is set up the way that you want to see things ultimately play out. All right, perfect. Then the number one retirement mistake to avoid, and I was kind of alluding this, would be retiring from something versus retiring to something. And my clients that have struggled with that initial transition into retirement, it's because they have just been miserable at their jobs and they think that it's going to be sunshine and rainbows, which sometimes is the case, but it's not always the case. Sunshine and rainbows if they leave their employer and they just don't have to go to work anymore. Well, the issue is, as human beings, a lot of the time our identities are wrapped in or what we do every day. And certainly you're going to miss out on a huge social dynamic as far as interacting with other adults or colleagues, whether you're doing that via Zoom, over the phone, or in person. You miss out on that when you retire. And so there's a lot of things to consider. And I'm not, again, suggesting you need to have the next 30, 40 years mapped out. What I'm saying is, though, that you need to at least think about, what am I going to do Tuesday at 10 o'clock if I'm not at work? Right? Or what am I going to do Monday through Friday, for 40, 50 hours a week? How am I going to fill that time? And you don't want to fill it sitting on the couch eating potato chips, right? And you don't want to do it being bored or frustrated or anxious, right? So you want to think about, have you decided that you want to go live a healthier lifestyle and you're going to start going on walks every day or practicing yoga, or maybe preparing more meals at home and get into cooking? Maybe hopefully traveling does open back up and you want to travel more. You want to do home improvement projects, whatever that is. You want to think about, if I'm not doing X, what does Y look like, right? And all I'm suggesting is you think about it. You have that conversation with me or somebody on my team. Again, we're trained to have these types of conversations with our clients so that we can help you transition in a comfortable way. Because you could have all the money in the world, but if you wake up on Tuesday, and you're miserable, it's really not doing you any good. So we want you to go into retirement. We want you to handle that transition well, have an idea of what you're going to do, what's this next chapter look like in your life, and be excited about it and enjoy that. Okay, good. So those are my 5 retirement mistakes to avoid. Hopefully you found a little bit of piece of guidance in here. Don't hesitate to reach out to me directly. We're out there on social media platforms. Certainly I'm out there on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And you can reach me directly at jake@falconwealthadvisors.com is my email address. Like I mentioned earlier, hope all of you are staying safe and healthy. As far as fun things going on, much of the same. I'm sure my wife's dying. She loves to travel, is dying to get out there somewhere, but we're just staying home. I'm playing golf, doing much of the same, doing some home improvement projects around our yard, which has been a lot of fun to see that take shape. So we're doing some landscape work. I've got a great landscaper if anybody ever needs somebody. But other than that, like I said, we're just trying to stay safe and healthy like everybody else. And thank you again for tuning in. If you're watching this on YouTube, we appreciate a thumbs up button, or be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss another episode of Upticks. And if you're listening to this on your favorite podcast platform, thank you so much for listening. Feel free to subscribe to that as well so that you receive our content as we roll it out. Thank you again, and we hope you all have a great week.